Alright, welcome back to Rust Country Garage. It is a very dreary, rainy, but still cold January day here. And we're working on something a little different. So instead of working on that car that needs power steering lines, because they blew, that'll be a different video that I've started recording, but I'm waiting on parts for it. Instead, we're working on this little beast right here. So this is like an early 2000, it's branded as a Craftsman, but it's a Sears mower. Essentially it's the equivalent of a LT1000, but if you know anything about the Sears mowers, specifically their Craftsman stuff, from that era, the early 2000s, these things were made by whomever they could get the cheapest contract through, essentially. So there's like a billion different like little submodels of this thing, but for all intents and purposes, LT1000 parts work on it. The plow that's on here was made for an LT1000, and I had to do a slight modification to the frame to get it to work, but otherwise it was pretty easy to bolt on. So you can see there's some snow out there, although much less than there was a couple days ago, because it is currently raining. It's warmed up. It's going to be warm for the next couple days, which is good because it's going to get rid of the snow that I haven't been able to plow because this thing's been out of commission. And what's going on is the starter issue. So I don't know if I can do this. Let's take the battery tender off here. I don't think the battery that I have for this thing is very good anymore. I've got another one over there, and I've already swapped them out. I think both of these batteries are just kind of weak, unfortunately. But the bigger issue is the starter. So put some weight on the seat and let you hear it. You can hear this thing isn't happy. And it sounds like a dead battery, but batteries have plenty of juice in it. This thing's just dead. Loud noises. This mower has lived a harsh life, to say the least. The fact that it's now a plow tractor should really tell you that this thing's gone through the ringer. The original motor is still in this thing. It doesn't have an hour meter on it, but if it did, I'm pretty sure the hour meter would read, "Please kill me. Just let me die." But I refuse. This thing's going to keep living, and it's going to keep doing some work. I do want to get something that's a little better for snow removal next year. This thing works pretty good in powder, and even some heavier snows, up to like 5 or 6 inches. But once you start getting more, this thing doesn't really move it. And I have the snow blower, but this thing doesn't want to stay running either. I'm just kind of tired of dealing with both of these. They were both free hand-me-downs, that I received when we moved in almost 5 years ago now. So they don't owe me nothing, and it's just time to get something a little better. But this little tractor, I still would like to use for other things. I have my fun custom hitch that I welded up for this thing. It's got some aggressive ATV tires on the back. It's a nice little mower for moving stuff around the yard. And the plow on it is still helpful, like I say, for smaller amounts of snow. So I might still even use it for plowing next year, depending on what I get. But this thing, the starter, is definitely gone. So, new starter here. And I've already got the cover No, you can't really see it. We've got the cover off the Bendix here, and I mean I think you can hear it as I try to spin it. You can hear the crunch. It's time to go. So I'll get the camera set up and we'll get to switching out this starter. Should be pretty quick and simple for us. Alright, so got some light shed on the situation. Might be a little too much, but we'll have to deal with it. So you can see the starter has gotten some wear and tear on it. Someone's definitely used some percussive maintenance on it in the past. Rusted right up, and yeah, crunchy. So our job here is to remove it. Luckily, these starters are a one-pole starter, so all you got is just one wire directly to your starter solenoid, and then all that holds it is two T40 bolts. So this bolt over here, easy to get to. This one over here, though, is kind of covered up by the gear, so might be a bit problematic to get to. Let's see. We'll get this one first. Might have put the camera down. No, they're not that tight, luckily. Alright, just that little guy there. Throw this in my impromptu parts tray. That was the vent cover for my non-functioning chimney on the house that blew off. And try to squeeze myself in. I'm working in some confined spaces today. Okay. And we got just enough of a bite on this one. I'll squeeze myself out. Yeah, there's like a foot of room. And considering I'm like a foot wide, it's a tight squeeze. Okay, I'm probably bigger than a foot wide, but you know. Alright, and then that guy is probably like an 11 or a 12 millimeter. So we'll move on over. Grab some sockets. Oh, this is why I normally don't work in my garage. It's just tight quarters. Normally I wouldn't do a job like this until after my car is out, so I could just move this over to the other bay, have more room. But I don't know when that car is going to get out, because parts are still hard to come by. And I can only get this part from a dealer. The power steering lines, I should say. Alright, so maybe this is actually just a 10. No. It might be standard also. Yeah. Alright. Let's go 7/16. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's a early 2000s. They hadn't switched everything over to metric yet. Alright, old starter out. Unpackage our new one. Compare. Yep. Those look the same. And then we'll start by getting this one in. So, get my torque bit back on here. And we'll get these two started by hand first. Sorry, you probably get to see my bearded face. Yeah. No crunching sounds coming from this one. And since it's tight quarters to get this the starter wire on, I'm gonna get that on first here. Well, maybe. Just doesn't want to sit flat enough to get the nut started. There we go. That out of the way. Ugh. Alright. Move our tools out of the way. Oh, yeah. So, battery's still weak and it's still very cold out. So, I'll have to give it a jump to get it started, but you can hear the major difference, and yeah, that thing's been through it, and looks like I might be able to tear it apart. I might be able to rebuild it and put it on the shelf just in case. So we'll stick it over here in box, and we'll save that for a different rainy day project. But it's really that simple. About, I don't know, 15 minutes worth of work. and then you have it done. I will say, just be sure, if you're buying these, especially if you're buying them like I did, I just went on Amazon, found one. It was like 35 bucks or so for the starter. If you don't know the exact engine info, which, mine's got the tag here, I can grab all the info on it. If you're just searching based on like the engine manufacturer and horsepower, because you can find them that way too, just make sure you count the gears on the teeth, and make sure that if you're buying something that looks like the original starter, that you have the right tooth count, because that's going to be the most important thing. A, that it mounts correctly, and B, you have the right tooth count. This starter came in a few different tooth counts for the exact same mounting bracket and everything, so just make sure that you're careful on that. But I'm happy. Starter in, engine wants to turn over, batteries are crap, but that's life. We'll deal with that separately. So call this a win. I'm gonna go get in out of the cold and get some food in me. So thank you for tuning in here. Snow's falling off the roof, scaring me a little bit. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Quick, simple video here. Wanted to get something uploaded while I'm waiting for parts on the car so that I can get that video uploaded. I know it's been a while. Life's come at me fast. But I plan on continuing to post, and I will see you later.